Franklin George Campbell in 1926 started a small truck line that he called Campbell Fuel and Transfer. As Frank's business prospered, a banker asked him if he would take over Rapid 66 Express, a truck line operating down Route 66 from St. Louis to Springfield, Missouri. It was 1933. Frank renamed the merged business Campbell 66 Express. From then on, Campbell 66 Express was known throughout the Midwest for its mascot, a camel named Snortin Norton, and its slogan, Humpin to Please. After the company added refrigerated service, its refrigerated trailers featured the phrase Humpin to Freeze, making the model that I'm going to review a little later on in this video wrong, as they put the wrong slogan for a Campbell's refrigerated trailer. A huge change was in store for the trucking industry in 1935. The Interstate Commerce Act was passed, regulating trucking in the United States. This act, in effect, regulated nearly every aspect of transportation by truck. Those truck line operators who could prove that they had provided regular service between cities were awarded authority to continue that service. In other words, their proven authority was grandfathered. To gain new authority, one had to prove that service was inadequate by the existing carrier, and this was very hard to prove before the Interstate Commerce Commission. It was far easier to buy out another truck line that could connect with your authority by proving to the commission that you were financially fit and able to take over the line and improve service for the shipping public. For over a period of 40 years, Frank Campbell purchased a number of truck lines, expanding his operation from a small line operating in Missouri along Route 66 to operating in 26 states, primarily in the Midwest and the southern part of the U.S. This pattern of expansion by the major truck lines came to an end with the passing of the Deregulation Act of 1980, and when it was signed by then-President Jimmy Carter. For 45 years, the regulated trucking industry had operated under strict regulations, and the new act was such a drastic change that many big truck lines vanished. Campbell 66 was one of the many that disappeared into bankruptcy, and its status as a Missouri corporation was ended in 1997. For 60 years, the people that worked for the company lived up to Campbell 66 Express Company motto, Humpin to Please. And here we go, guys. This is First Gear's Mack B model. It's a B61 with a 40-foot vintage refrigerated freight trailer for Campbell's Express Inc. Campbell's 66 Express, Humpin to Please. It comes in First Gear's box, and this was a fast sellout at First Gear. Campbell 66 always sells real well. It's a very popular name. If you got any, you really need to. These are the trucks that you want to find, and you'll most likely have to find them on the secondary market. And to do that, it'll be easier if you've got this, which is the item number, 60-0423. It's in First Gear's box, which is a window box with a true window to it, and a little bitty piece in the back to make it look like it's not brown cardboard. They also taped these two-piece blisters together. Probably the best way in the world. You see, with the tape, it doesn't fall out. Without the tape, you have a chance when you just pull it out and not even notice it, and she just slides out and hits the table. Bummer. Now your truck is broken. You don't want that. That's why the tape. These things do kind of get a little stuck together, and that's also a good thing because they don't fall apart on you. Set the trailer out and then set the tractor out. All right, let's set the truck back a little, and then let's start off with the trailer. This is First Gear's 40-foot die-cast trailer. It is a die-cast trailer with a plastic base piece, but it is a nice die-cast trailer.
This particular run runs on 6-spoke Dayton wheels. They're yellow, which is Campbell 66 color, with silver rims and silver caps. I'm pretty sure these were the B model Mack wheels, because B model Macks ran on 6-spoke and Mack loves 6-spoke wheels. So I'm sure that's where they came from. Got a red marker light here, orange, and orange marker lights. Plenty of ICC numbers in all the states that they had operating authority numbers. Back then, everywhere you went, you had to get your state issued number, your federal number, and all kinds of stuff. So you had lots and lots of numbers on these trucks. Then you've got the Campbell 66 Express, Humpin to Please, and Snortin Norton there. A note about these, none of these trailers were exactly the same because they were all hand painted. And the painter never painted Norton twice the same way. Pretty cool. So whenever you see it, you'll see every version has a little difference in the Snortin Norton. They're all accurate because they made all different ones. The roof is silver and the reefer is red. Underneath, it's got a silver base, landing gear that's plastic. It's fixed, it does not come down, and it has a little steel wheels, which were designed so that you could probably roll the trailer without hooking it up. Probably didn't work so well, and it probably didn't work so well when it wasn't parked on pavement because it would sink right through it. There is a date of manufacturer right there, 20118, so the 201st day of 2018 is when this truck was made, and like I said, they were sold out before they were even finished with production. It has a silver painted fuel tank there, and then you can see it's got the spare tire carrier and a spare tire on the rim there. Now that is the most accurate because spiders have rims. You don't change the spiders, you just change the rim around it. Spring detail on the suspension for the rear axles on the tandems, as well as air brakes. Really nice. On the mud flaps, it says caution air brakes, painted in white. Air brakes were different back then, and they still are a little different. If you've never driven one, be prepared. They're different. But they're not quite the way they were way back when. It has red brake lights, 2 on each side, bumper, Snortin Norton with 66, Humpin to Please, painted on the back doors. No extra paint on the cam locks, latches, and the hinges. Then you can see it's got the 3 roof lights. Also with this trailer, the back doors do not open. But that's alright. We don't need them all to open, do we? Over onto this side, you can see Snortin Norton's painted and facing forward with Campbell Express ink written around him. Humpin to Please. What a slogan. Humpin to Please. And you get your numbers right there. There's no crank for the landing gear on this side because it's over on the driver's side. Now we'll come around to the front, and you can see it has a red reefer right there. That's a Thermo King. Might be a little old for this designed trailer, but it still looks pretty nice. I just wish this trailer were a little taller because the design is great. It's just the height is a little too short, so it looks silly. And this design also probably would have been better on a 35 foot instead of a 40 foot. Oh well. It's got the red reefer, black grill, and then you got all your controls right there in black and white. Really nice. Nice detail there. Now I'll show you the problem without screw down landing gear. It droops. See that? It just kind of droops when it's parked off. But we got enough trailers, we don't need to worry about that. We can leave these hooked to trucks. And here we go, guys. This is First Gear's Mack B61 tandem axle tractor tooling. Very, very popular truck back in the day, and I'm glad to see it done in all die cast. The cab is die cast, the frame is die cast. It rides on 6-spoke Dayton style wheels that are yellow with chrome rims and silver caps. 6 spokes are classic Mack. They were very, very popular for Mack. It has Campbell 66 Express, Springfield, Missouri, and all of its numbers painted in black on the door. The door handle, the grab bar are tampoed in silver. Then over on the hood, you can see it says Mack. It's got the Thermodyne logo, the Bulldog, and diesel there with some other molding detail that Mack put on the hoods. Also, you can see the strap that would hold that butterfly hood down is just painted yellow, the body color, instead of trying to paint it black. They just left it body yellow. Then again, Campbell 66 might have had yellow ones. I don't know. You can see that beautiful Bulldog sitting up there on the hood right there, up on the front of the grill. Back in their Bulldogs. They love them. Then you've got right here, turn signal on the fender. Really nice. Turn them around to the front. Individual jewel style headlights into the sockets, and then little silver tampo for the driving lights. It says Mack right above the grill. Classic B61 vertical bar grill. It's chrome. Bulldog there. Black thin bumper. And then up on the hood, up top, you can see the center line down the hood, which is where the hinges would be for the butterfly style. The windshield wipers are molded into the glass, as is the center bar. The center bar in the outer ring is painted black so that it looks like it has gaskets and that center bar to make a two-piece window. And then they tampoed silver for the windshield wipers. Silver windshield wipers were far more common back in the day. It's only fairly recent that they've gone to all black windshield wipers. But anyway, then you can see the two turn signals right there on the fenders. Both Mack style mirrors, very nice. They stick way out because that cab is awful narrow. Then we come around to the passenger side. You can see the Campbell 66, all the numbers on the door. Great big fat muffler that Mack ran, big fat muffler. And for heat shield detail, they just put a decal with black dots around. Does a good job. Fuel tanks are the step style fuel tanks. Got the air cleaner hanging out right off the side of the hood, between the hood and the door. Mirror there, and all the rest of the details, similar to the other side. Quarter fenders are chrome on this guy, and it has a chrome deck plate, plus there's battery toolboxes right there. Really nice. Round to the back. Classic Mack. Single red brake light. Classic Mack. Black mud flaps. Then up top you can see the top detail where the drive shaft comes through and it attaches to the axle above, and then it goes down with gears. That gave you a little more power out of these trucks. Chrome diamond plate deck plate. Fifth wheel, that's a first gear style fifth wheel. And it's actually die-cast metal, and it'll haul first gear and DCP trailers, no problem. Hard plastic back window, and you can see that cab is really rounded and tiny. These were not big trucks, so you were cramped in that cab. Up onto the roof, you got your dual chime air horns, one big and one small, right over the driver's side, which was super common for Mack. They loved that right there. Then they molded in the roof lights, tampoed them silver and orange. Really, that's probably the best way to do roof lights, just mold them in and then tampo them, because it gets the idea across and a little less time consuming on the assembly line, plus it's one less thing for them to mess up putting in crooked. Now we go underneath. Spacing on these tires isn't too bad. You can see the transmission here, bottom of the engine detail, drive shaft to the first axle, real big heavy Mack style differentials, and a drive shaft to the second axle, and then a Mack style suspension. There's an air tank there, two fuel tanks, front suspension spring style, and it does not have steering, which we can either love or hate. I kind of like it because now my trucks roll straight, and I don't care if they steer, but I got enough that do to, if I want to put one sitting off with the wheels cocked, I can do that and let the rest of them run straight. That's fine with me. Doesn't matter. But anyway, there it is. Let's go on and hook this guy up. How about that? Wouldn't that been fun to drive up and down the highways back in the day? Mack B61 day cab with 40-foot vintage refrigerated freight trailer for Campbell 66 Express Inc. Humpin to please with Snortin Norton painted on the side of the trailer.
I'll bet most of you have seen pictures of Snortin Norton out there on the internet, on the highways of the past, or on one of the few trailers that still remain in use by other companies as storage that just didn't get repainted. These few remaining trailers are a tribute to a different era of artist and paint, instead of the large printed vinyl wraps on trucks today. These hand-painted trailers should be preserved. A little known fact, every truck and trailer was hand-painted by a staff artist, and no two Snortin Nortons were identical. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and next time you see an old trailer dying a slow death, remember the men and women who moved America in a different time, and be proud of what that trailer represents and what it once meant to thousands of people that never even knew it existed. Now, go on and grab my report on tips for valuing your collection. It tells you what you need to look for in pieces that will add value to your collection. There's a link to it down in the description below. And be sure to go on and like, comment, subscribe, and keep it between the white lines. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, the founder of Advantage Diecast, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.